and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a tag, and I love doing tags. I love doing any kind of product discussion video. So this is the beauty brand Superstars tag. So this is basically the MVPs, the best of the best from specific brands. So this tag was created by Stephanie Marie, which I will link below, but I was actually tagged by Mrs. Melissa M Beauty, so I'll link her below. She has an amazing channel. They're both smaller creators and they're so enjoyable to watch, so make sure you go check them out. But yeah, I am extremely excited to do this video because I feel like it gets very overwhelming when you go in the store and you see all these brands and all these products, but you don't know where to begin. So Stephanie Marie said to pick like 1 to 2 products, but with some of these I picked like up to 4. But I'm doing something a little bit differently because all the videos that I watched were kind of a mixture of high-end products and drugstore, and there were a couple that I watched that were just all high-end products. So I'm gonna do the beauty brand Superstars tag drugstore edition because we all know the drugstore is my forte. But I will say there are a few things I don't actually have on me just because I'm really trying to focus on using up what I have in my collection before I go out and repurchase things. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first brand I want to talk about is NYX Cosmetics because I feel like there's so little talk about BH, and even with me, like I haven't really tried a whole lot because I haven't really seen a lot of reviews from anybody. So the first thing is the Carly Bobble Deluxe Edition palette. So this is $22 at Ulta. You can also buy it at BHCosmetics.com. This is one of the best YouTube created palettes. This is one of my favorite palettes overall because it's basic and it's good for every day, but it's also got a little pizzazz to it. Like you got some warm tones, you got some neutral tones, and then you got some purpley mauve taupey tones. And I feel like this is just such a good everyday palette. You have everything you need to complete an entire eye look in here. Formulation of all of these are so buttery and smooth and easy to work with. And I just feel like she curated such an amazing palette and like such a beautiful combination of colors. Next is the Spotlight 6 color highlighting palette. So I'm not really sure how much this is, but I will have everything linked below. And I do try to use Ulta when I link things, so most of the links below will be from Ulta. So when you look at this is kind of dull. Like it just looks like a basic, like kind of boring highlighting palette, but on the face, they look so beautiful. These are so dewy, and even though they're shimmery and frosty, there's very minimal emphasis on texture, which I really do appreciate. But these are huge pans. Like I feel like this is definitely under $15 and a lot of bang for your buck. Like there's a lot of product in here. Next brand is probably my favorite drugstore brand. And people ask me all the time, what's your favorite brand? What's your favorite foundation? Your favorite this? Maybelline has some of my favorite products ever. Whenever someone asks me for a foundation recommendation, this is where I send them. This is the Matte and Poreless Fit Me foundation, and it says it's matte, but I would say this is like a natural satin finish, and I feel like this is one of the most universal foundations. Like if you have dry skin, oily skin, normal combination, you can get full coverage with this. It blends out so beautifully. It just melts into the skin. It wears all day long. I will say I can't find a perfect match in this. They do have quite a bit of shades, especially for the drugstore, but this one is too tan for me. This is a perfect summer like tan shade for me. This is 128 Warm Nude. So what I like to do is use this shade and just mix it in with a white foundation mixer, and it's perfect. Number 2 are the Color Sensational lipsticks. Just the regular lipsticks. They've been around forever. They're like $5. They're so affordable, and there are seriously so many shades. Like they have such a wide shade range. They're not drying. They're very comfortable. This is one of the brands I picked like 4 things out of, and I could pick more, but I tried to narrow the scope a little bit. The Maybelline Fit Me concealer is my top 5 concealer, if not like number 1 or number 2. It's in there. Like it's one of the best concealers in my collection. It's a really nice like thin, lightweight gel-like consistency. You can get medium to full coverage out of this. It builds up really nicely. It never looks cakey or thick or heavy under the skin, under the eyes. There is a little bit of creasing with this, but very minimal, especially compared to other concealers I've tried. And then one that never gets talked about is the Maybelline Master Conceal Camouflaging Concealer. I love this stuff so much. I hate the application. I hate that it's in a tube. I wish it came in like, I don't know, a wand applicator or something. I don't like it. It's sanitary, but I just don't like it. But this is one of those that just doesn't crease on me. It's not super matte. It's not drying. It's not, you know, cakey under the eyes. It's very hydrating, but yet it stays all day long. It's full coverage, blends out so nicely. I mean, this one is very overlooked. Neutrogena. Neutrogena is one of those brands that you see it all the time and it's been around for a while, but where do you go? Number 1 is a Healthy Skin Liquid Foundation. This is a beautiful foundation. Medium to full coverage, beautiful glowy finish, but not too glowy, like not oily looking. I feel like you could wear this whatever skin type you have, whether you're oily, mature, dry, normal combination. Like this is a very universal foundation as well. And then one that I don't have on me that I purchased at least 4 or 5 times since high school, and every time I wore this foundation, someone would ask me what I'm wearing. And that is the Skin Clearing Liquid Foundation. So this is targeted towards people with acne, but I mean, there's salicylic acid in it, but salicylic acid in foundations and stuff really isn't gonna do a whole lot. So it's not gonna dry out your skin or anything. I mean, salicylic acid is like a BHA or an AHA or something like that. So it's not bad for your skin, but beautiful medium to full coverage, blends onto the skin beautifully. I mean, the shade range isn't all that great, but this is such a beautiful formula and no one ever talks about it. I feel like when you see skin clearing, you think, oh, this is for teenagers, but seriously, anyone could wear this. I would say maybe dry skin would have a problem with it, but I really don't see that either. Like, it's not too matte or anything. It just has a really nice like satin finish. So definitely check this one out. Very underrated. And then this last one is my new all-time favorite moisturizer with SPF. I've really been trying to find a good moisturizer with sunscreen that doesn't give me a white cast or doesn't feel greasy and oily on my skin. And this is it. And I actually found this in the clearance section at Walmart for $4, but regularly it's like $17 or $18. This is the Hydro Boost Water Gel with SPF 15. So the whole Hydro Boost line, which I'm definitely gonna be getting my hands on very soon, like when I run out of stuff, it's all infused with hyaluronic acid, which is so good for your skin. But I wish there was higher SPF in it. Like 15 is kind of like, not really overwhelming or anything. But where this is a gel, it leaves no white cast behind. It just absorbs into the skin so nicely. It leaves your skin look really radiant and really glowy, but not oily, and anyone could wear this. NYX Cosmetics is one that when I go in there, I'm just like, oh my God, where do I start? So number one is the HD Finishing Powder in the shade Banana. This is really good for lighter skin tones because where it has kind of like a whiteness to it, it's not gonna be too yellow. It's gonna actually brighten. And it just makes your under eye area look so milky smooth and just very creamy. The NYX Precision Brow Pencil in the shade Taupe has been talked about more on my channel in the past like 6 months than probably anything on here. This is my favorite brow product. It's a flat edge brow pencil. Like, it's not one like the Brow Wiz, or like it's not angled like the brow definer from Anastasia. I just feel like this outlines and sharp, it like gives you that sharp, precise, like crisp eyebrow look. It's so fast, and not to mention the color is perfect for me. The Intense Butter Gloss, in particular the shade Tres Leche, I have a hard time saying that. Tres Leche. You know what I'm trying to say. This is a beautiful formula and I love this shade. Like, it's like a rosy mauve nude shade, and this formula, like, it feels thick and kind of sticky at first, but it becomes more comfortable over time, and it's so long wearing. It's a really, really intense glossy look. Like, it's not matte whatsoever. It will not set to be matte. I just wish they had more shades. Like, I need more nudes. Like, they have a lot of like crazier color, like vibrant colors, and that's just ain't me. I need more nude shades. Then number 4, like I said, I did do up to 4 with some of these brands, but this is the Pump It Up Lip Plumper in the shade Live. So this is actually a clear lip gloss, but I mix it with everything, so it kind of turns into this pinky color. But if you like that tingly, cooling feeling with your lip glosses, this will give you that. And whenever I use this, like, it makes my lip products wear so much longer. Like, it really stretches out the wear time. Number 5 is Essence. So Essence is a very, very affordable brand, Ulta, and they have some amazing products, and they have some that, not so good, but they're super, super cheap. My number 1 favorite product from this brand, and this mascara is in my top 3 like favorite mascaras of all time. This is the Sculpted Volume Mascara. It gives me everything I want. Volume, length, boldness. It doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge, it separates, it doesn't clump, but it clumps a little bit. It also holds a curl really well. It's got like a curved shape to it. It's perfection. I am dried out. I need some more, but it's always out of stock. But it's like $4 or $5, and it goes on sale for like buy one, get one half off all the time. So product number 2 is the Lash and Brow Gel Mascara. So this is like $2.99, and I use this to comb through my brows before I apply brow products. So I use this in like the prepping and priming stages of my routine. So when I'm applying my eye primer, my moisturizer, and I just feel like this gives a little bit of texture, and it kind of gives my brows some hold before I go in with the brow product. But this doesn't make your brows feel sticky or crunchy. Like, it's not like Anastasia brow gel, because that one has like extreme hold, but it still has a really good amount of hold. It feels softer to the touch. Like, it doesn't feel like you have anything in. This does keep my brows in place all day long. It's very lightweight. Like, I don't feel it. I will say I don't like the wand on it. Like, I wish it were smaller, because this is the size of a regular wand, like a regular mascara wand. So it does need to be smaller, but other than that, love this stuff. And then last is the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder for lighter skin. They do have several different shades in this. I think I have like 2, but this is such a buttery formula. The packaging sucks on it. It's broken, but it is matte. It's not too pigmented to where it's hard to work with. It's just really smooth. It feels very high-end. Like, it doesn't feel like a $5 bronzer, but it's not, you know, too orange. It's not muddy looking. It's not too red. It's not too taupe. It's It's just a perfect in-between shade, so I love this stuff. So next up is Physicians Formula. So they're a little more on the high-end side of the drugstore, but they have some amazing face products. Now, I'm not too cultured in their eye makeup, but their face products, from what I've tried, are extremely good. So we can't talk about this brand without talking about the Butter Bronzer. Love this stuff so much. It's not too matte. It has like a slight sheen to it. I just feel like this type of finish for bronzer looks so realistic and so natural. Like it really does mimic an actual suntan. It's very, very smooth. It is pigmented, but it's not too pigmented. Like it's more buildable. And then their foundations are very, very underrated. So this is the Touch of Glow Nude Wear Foundation. So this is the one that has like the rose gold packaging, the little bow on it. It's super dewy and very glowy and hydrating, but it's also really, really good on my skin. And I do have oily skin, and I've worn this through the summertime, through winter, but it does have medium to full coverage. It's very buildable. It's very lightweight and very thin. It lasts all day long. That's one of the best things about this foundation. Even though it's super dewy and glowy, it gives you a very like radiant look. It doesn't make me oily. It doesn't make me shiny or greasy. It just holds up extraordinarily well, especially for a glowy foundation. And then this one is a newer release, and I just did a foundation review over this and raved about it. This is the Healthy Foundation with SPF 20. So they did expand their shade selection with this one. First of all, the shade LN3 is perfect for me. It's a perfect like fair light, kind of golden olivey undertone. It works perfectly, but it does build up. You can get a full coverage out of this. It's like a medium to full coverage. It is buildable, but it's very, very thin. It never feels cakey. It never feels heavy on your skin. Same with the other foundation, that Touch of Glow foundation. And this wears so well. Again, like I wouldn't say this is as glowy as the other foundation I just showed, as little rose gold foundation, but it still gives you a very, it's like a glowy satin finish. I feel like anyone could wear this, whether you have oily skin, dry skin, whatever. So moving on to Wet n Wild. So Wet n Wild is one of those brands that it's so cheap, but it'll surprise you just about every time. So this first product is a highlighter that is seriously the best highlighter I've tried from the drugstore, from high-end. I mean, it's the best in my collection. So this is the Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Precious Petals. So as you can see, it's gotten quite a bit of love. We've hit pan, and this is what I call a skin tone kind of highlighter. So there are some highlighters that just kind of sit on your skin like a stripe, like they don't really mesh. This just meshes in, and it kind of mimics a natural glow. It's just a straight up sheen. There is no shimmer or frost. It's not very emphasizing of pores or texture or anything. This is a beautiful like metallic wet highlighter. And then there are a couple of products from Wet n Wild that are just so amazing, but I haven't repurchased them because like I said, I'm trying to use up what I have in my collection right now. But the Photo Focus setting spray right over here, I've purchased this stuff at least 7 or 8 times. It's very small, so I do go through it pretty fast, and I use a lot of setting spray. But it does everything that you want a setting spray to do. It improves the wear of your makeup. It also just meshes everything together. It gets rid of cakiness. It just makes your skin look more hydrated and refreshed. And then the Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. I swear the Photo Focus line is so good from Wet n Wild. This is just like the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, but it's only $4 or $5, and that makes it 10 times better in my opinion. Next up is Covergirl. Now, Covergirl is one of those brands that usually never impresses me. Like, I'm not super impressed with most of their products, but their foundations are incredible for the most part. So their Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation, this was like the gold standard back in the day for drugstore foundations. They have repackaged it since then, but this is an older bottle. Such a good full coverage foundation. It's kind of like a satin matte finish. It holds up all day long. This is one of the most long wearing foundations that I've tried, and it's not super natural or anything, but it also doesn't look cakey and thick on your skin. I feel like if you have oily skin and you need a good drugstore foundation, this would be an amazing place to start. The Ready Set Gorgeous foundation is one of the most underrated products in the drugstore of all time. When you put it on, like when you feel it, it's very thin, it's very watery, and you don't really expect anything from it, but then you apply it and it's like full coverage right off the bat. It doesn't feel like a super full coverage foundation or anything. It blends out so seamlessly. Like, this is one of the most beautiful foundations that I've ever tried. It gives you a really pretty like satin finish. It looks very natural, holds up all day long, which is so crazy because it doesn't even claim to be super long wearing. Like, the claims on this are very minimal. So, like, I feel like they are not really doing this foundation justice. Like, Covergirl needs to put more claims on this because it's amazing. It's oil-free. I feel like anyone could wear this foundation. And last, we cannot have a drugstore edition beauty brand superstars video without L'Oreal. I feel like L'Oreal is the cream of the crop. Like, they're the gold standard for drugstore makeup. So, just to let you guys know, L'Oreal owns a bunch of these high-end brands. So, you may be paying a high price tag for some of this stuff, but it's pretty much L'Oreal stuff. So my number one favorite product that's not discontinued, because my favorite mascara of all time is the Miss Manga Rock, but this one is my other favorite mascara, but it's not discontinued. So this is the Voluminous Butterfly Sculpt. Such an underrated, amazing mascara. I'm wearing it right now. It gives me everything I want. It gives you the perfect amount of clump. It gives you that really nice false lash effect. It's super jet black. L'Oreal just hits it out of the ballpark with mascaras. The Infallible Pro Glow Foundation is one of my favorite foundations for when I want a really glowy, dewy look. Now, I have to be careful with oily skin with glowy foundations because most of them don't hold up very well on me. Now, I will say during like the summer months, I have to be a little more extra with this. Like, I have to go the extra mile to ensure that it stays on all day. Such a beautiful, like, natural glow, and it gives you medium to full coverage. The way it glides on the skin is like a high-end foundation. So the Infallible 24-Hour Lacquer Liner, this is just a gel liner. So good. It's very, very long lasting. It will hold up all day in your waterline, or most of the day at least. Very creamy, just glides on, doesn't tug, just amazing, super pigmented eyeliner. And then a more recent discovery is this one. Now, I don't know if they're discontinuing this because I found this at TJ Maxx. This is the 𝐄𝐁𝐀𝐓𝐄𝐒 eyeliner in the shade Black. I'm wearing it right now on my top lash line. So jet black, it sets really fast, and when it sets, it stays put all day long. And it doesn't really fade. Like, most eyeliners kind of fade in intensity a little bit. This one doesn't. It's extremely creamy. I haven't tried it for my waterline though, so I can't speak on that, but like, that was just one light touch. Let's do it over here. Look at that. It's so intense. But I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I really enjoyed doing this. Usually tags are kind of boring sometimes, but this one was super fun, and I feel like this is very helpful and very interesting. So I tagged you if you have a channel, so if you decide to do this, let me know in the comments below, send me your link, and I will definitely check it out. So thank you all so much for watching. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel down here, have a little button, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Mwah.